you're next, Paul.
I didn't read anything. I have no idea. How am I supposed to clutch an A in this class?
Oh, wake up, boy!
Yikes, who are you?
I'm Odysseus, great king of Ithaca, and the most handsome of the land. I am husband of Penelope, the most beautiful woman ever, who chose me over every other man in Greece.
Well, that's cool, I guess.
Indeed it is cool, my son. I have come here to take you on a journey of enlightenment, a journey that you will never forget and forever scar you, so you will always do your English work.
Didn't you go on some radical journey or something in your lifetime?
Well, I'm glad you at least know that. I have endured a great journey over my lifetime and faced the beautiful deathly voices of the sirens, the treacherous monsters of Scylla and Charybdis, and had intercourse with about every girl I met along the way.
You dirty dog, Odysseus. Why did you endure all of this pain?
My good friend Eurylochus described me once. You are a hard man, Odysseus. You will not let your companions, worn with hard work and wanting sleep, set foot on this land, where if we did, on the sea-girt island, we could once make ready a greedy dinner. But you force us to blunder along, just as we are, through the running night, driven from the island over the misty face of the water.
Why did you try so hard to complete your mission?
Because, young one, I was determined. Perseverance is one of the most important traits that you can attain. I love my wife, and I would stop at absolutely nothing to be with her and regain my kingdom. My love for her powered me through the hard times and gave me the strength to persevere. Of all the creatures that breathe and walk on earth, there is nothing more helpless than the man is, all of the earth fosters. For he thinks that he will never suffer misfortune in future days, while the gods grant him courage, and his knees have spring in them. But when the blessed gods bring sad days upon him, against his will he must suffer with enduring spirit. For the mind in men upon earth goes according to the fortune of the Father of gods and men, day by day bestows upon them.
I didn't quite catch that last part. I'm not very smart when you're talking all smartly.
You have the IQ of a small ferret. I shall try to explain it to you better. Whatever life's challenges may bring, it is essential that you have the strength and courage to get past them, especially as you mature and transition into the adult world.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's almost as deep and intense as watching a man slowly die in a ditch, knowing that you've deprived that man of the right to live.
What?
Never mind.
Alright, well, let's begin our journey, even though I can talk about my accomplishments forever. Hop in my chariot.
You got mad swag, Odysseus!
What?
You got mad swag, Odysseus!
Oh, thanks. I swag out for days.
You shouldn't indulge in such expensive things. Instead, appreciate the meaningful, important parts of life. While the pontificating teachers and politicos continued to write and talk, we saw the wounded and dying. While they taught that duty to one's country is the greatest thing, we already knew that death throes are stronger.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm just messing with you, Big O. Why are you taking me on this journey anyway?
Well, alright, so, first of all, I feel guilty because I have never been there for my child Telemachus. He faced the treacherous dangers of growing up completely alone with no father figure to guide him. I am taking you on this adventure to redeem myself and have the experiences a father is supposed to have. Second, you must learn about English, as you failed to pay attention all year because you're an idiot. I will take you to the three ghosts of Duffy's class. The first one representing childhood innocence, the second representing the struggles of growing up, and the third and most important one representing acceptance into the mature world and discovering oneself. You must listen and pay attention. Your English grade and life depends upon it. No pressure, though. So, Paul, I'd like you to meet my good friend Phineas.
Good to meet you, pal.
So I got a book report due today. You think you could help me out?
Well, naturally, I don't believe in books, and I don't believe in teachers. But sure, I'll help you out.
Oh, really? I have a great teacher back home. His name's Cantoric. No, I meant to say Duffy.
Okay, I'll start the beginning. I attended the Devon School for Boys with my best friend Jean. Naturally, all was good. I was an innocent teenage boy. Naturally, I believed only what I wanted and saw no evil in the world. But naturally, there had to come to an end when I lost my innocence. I was betrayed by my own best friend. Jean jounced a tree limb I was standing on, and I fell and shattered my leg. So naturally, my whole outlook on life had changed. The world was no longer so pure as it once was.
I know what you mean. I once thought life made sense. Now, I'm just lost and confused.
Jean and I were once so close it seemed as though we were the same person. After the accident, we drifted until I felt like I barely knew him anymore.
People often don't understand the struggle you go through, even if they pretend to. Especially after the war or your accident, it's hard to relate to other people.
Hey, check this out, guys! Hey, did any one of you see this newspaper article on the Iraq War?
Oh, that was completely fake. Naturally, that was just made up by a bunch of old men.
Let me assure you, the war is very, very real.
No, it's not. Naturally, it's just made up by the government to get everybody's money. There is no way that there could ever be something so treacherous.
Don't joke about that kind of stuff. It's not funny at all, Phineas. War is a serious subject and you're being extremely disrespectful. You better watch your tongue before you get a knuckle sandwich.
Oh, Phineas, you're so funny I could die. Ha ha.
Well, I must leave now and rest my leg. Good luck to you, Paul. Hey, by the way, you remind me of an old friend of mine. I think his last name was Balmer. If only you had a mustache, you two would look identical.
What? Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
What did you think of Phineas?
Seems like a good guy. Pretty strange, though. What happened to him?
Yeah, he didn't make it. Died from the classic bone marrow to the heart.
What? He seemed like he was doing well.
Yeah, it was strange. It almost seemed like he died of a broken heart.
Oh, I see his friend Jean and him had that kind of relationship.
No. It almost seemed like Phineas died because he couldn't handle the adult world. Jean began to grow up and experience new feelings that he had not felt as a child, such as jealousy and guilt, while Phineas could not make the transition into adulthood.
Oh, so you're saying Phineas, who was an innocent and naive child, had to die in order to reach full maturity.
There it is, Paul. Now you're getting it. In order to enter adulthood, one must shed their childhood innocence.
Ah, well that makes sense. Who's next?
You'll see. Here we are. This is Conrad Jarrett. He swims, as you can tell.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not the best. I don't want to be here.
Why are you swimming?
My parents, especially my mom, want me to. After my brother died, I felt a lot of pressure and guilt. I don't want to keep disappointing them.
I'm sorry. How did he die?
A boating accident.
Why should you feel bad? It seems like you were dealt unlucky circumstances.
Yeah, but why wasn't it me? Everyone loved my brother, and he did not deserve to die.
That's rough. It's only one event, though. I'm sure it'll pass.
You sound like my mother. She's always so concerned about herself and doesn't ever want to talk about the past. But I've done worse. One day, I felt my brother's death was all my fault and would feel the guilt every day. One day I couldn't take it anymore and tried to kill myself. I tried to kill myself because I couldn't handle the guilt or the pressure from my parents and community. It was strange all my childhood. I have never felt feelings of such regret and hopelessness before. It was as if I had all the evils of the world on my back and was trying to hold them up. The weight was crushing me. It was kind of like that Greek myth of Atlas and the burden that he carried.
I actually know that guy. He is not a myth, although he is a weakling. All he ever does is complain. What a freaking wimp.
Anyway, as you grow up, the pressure gets worse. The pressure from your parents, friends, and family becomes unbearable.
Well, I'm sure you'll be happy your son made out of it.
The only thing that makes me feel better is jacking off and my girlfriend Janine. She's awesome. And hot.
That guy was a psycho. The characters of these stories are really messed up. The curriculum is very negative and involves a lot of death. It seems like all these people undergo disastrous events, which will change their lives for the worst. For us lads of 18, teachers ought to have been mediators and guides to the world of maturity, to the future. In our hearts, we trusted them. The idea of authority, which they represented, was associated in our minds with a greater insight and a more human wisdom. But the first death we saw shattered this belief. We had to recognize that our generation was more to be trusted than theirs. The first bombardment showed us our mistake, and under it, the world, as they taught it, was to be broken in pieces.
What? You confuse me with your random outbreaks of nonsense, Paul.
Sorry, I don't know where that came from. I still think their situations are extreme. Not everyone kills themselves or one of their friends.
But everyone experiences the same realizations and difficulties. Well, the next person is a lot less interesting. She is an Asian lady, and who also grew up with great expectations.
Oh, the other two characters are already sounding more interesting. I'm actually glad I didn't read this book.
You didn't miss much. Let's talk to her quick. Here we are. Her name is Jing Mei.
You remind me a lot of myself when I was young, actually.
Oh, really?
I used to rebel against my mother all the time and never wanted to be the daughter she wanted me to be. She always wished me to be a famous piano prodigy, but I couldn't meet her expectations. This made me reject all of her ideas and revolt against my very own Chinese customs. My failure made me want to do the opposite of what my mother wanted me to do, and this caused me to attempt to create my own path in life.
Well, my mother is crazy and expects way too much from me.
That's only because she wants the best for you.
How do you know?
I think of my life's importance. I wonder what it means because my mother died 3 months ago. She's the only person I could have asked to tell me about life's importance, to help me understand my grief.
Why is that?
After fighting against her all my childhood, I finally realized that she was always there for me. I fought against her to gain my own independence and try to shape my struggles to win my freedom. After fighting against her all my childhood, I finally realized that she was always there for me. I fought against her to gain my own independence and tried to shape my character the way I wanted to be. But years later, I realized that through all my struggles to win my freedom, I became the very person I tried to avoid, my mother. I remember when I was taking a picture with my sisters and I first realized it.
Wait, what? Are you gonna keep going?
The gray-green surface changed and the bright colors of our 3 images sharpening and deepening all at once. And although we didn't speak, I know we all saw it. Together we looked like our mother. Her same eyes, her same mouth, open in surprise to see at last her long-cherished wish.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Alright, it's time to go, Paul. I've had it with this Panda Express. I prefer raw venison. I hope you have learned your lessons on this magical adventure, Paul.
I have. I actually learned a lot and enjoyed learning about how messed up the others are. It does make me feel better about myself.
Yep, that's for sure. I'm glad I am king and don't have to put up with such people, usually, who are very annoying. This has been real, Paul. I've enjoyed your company. You're going back to the real world now, though. Get that A and you will have all the ladies drooped over you, just like I did and currently have. So long!
Paul, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just haven't been able to get much sleep lately.
Well, are you ready to present today?
Yeah, I have a feeling I'll do just fine. It may seem foolish, but every soldier believes in chance and trusts his luck.
Paul, are you sure you're ready to present? You seem very confused.
Throughout the year, we've explored many different themes and ideals. One constant throughout the year has been the challenge of growing up. Because of the war, this theme hits home for many people in this class.
Well, it wasn't without its flaws, but with all that's going on with your mind, I am pleasantly surprised with the outcome of your presentation. It seems you really did grip the concepts throughout the year.
You know, you really remind me of someone, Paul.
Really? Who?
This guy Paul from All Quiet on the Western Front.
Must be a coincidence. Or is it?